Hello, it's me again. This is part two. We're talking about a definition of Hispanic or Latino on the previous video. Just want to talk a little bit about uh, our current society and our current world. Basically, we live in a society that everything is simplified, even though it's very complex and it's gotten more complex, but we tend to simplify words and statement. And I think that's what happened with Hispanic or Latino is they're just oversimplification. They do not reflect completely the group of people. Actually, the original words had another component. It wasn't Latino, it was Latin American. It wasn't Hispanic American. And Americans makes reference to anything native to the native to the American continent, whether it be North or South or Central America, pertinent to that. So anybody that came to this continent after that is not really referred to in that word. When you say American, it means native. So, of course, over time, what has happened, things have been simplified, and Americanos or Americans were people that were born in the Americas. And now the United States, because it's the United States of America, they use Americans to mean people from the United States. So basically, the way that we've been using the words have been not very complete and very confusing for the whole world. And I just want to make mention of that. The other thing I want to mention is the Spanish Empire. The royalty in the Spanish Empire were actually extremely tried to be extremely just to the people in the Americas, the natives. And in fact, there have been multiple laws written by the royalties in Spain of how to trying to protect the Indians from people that were migrating to the Americas. And of course, remember, we now live in a world that we have electricity, we have telephones, we have cell phones, we have internet. Just think of that. That did not exist. There was no electricity. It's, maybe gas lamps. That's it. So even the carriers for news, the Post was really not existent. So whatever happened in this new continent, North America and South American, took a long time for the people in the Iberian Peninsula or in Spain and Portugal to know what was going on. There was a time lag, and of course, it was he was actually a monk, Bartolomé de las Casas, who tried to protect him as much and would report lengthy reports if they were being mistreated, etc., to the royals in Spain and Portugal, and they made it very precise that they wanted those Indians that were going to be future Christians, of course, Catholic at the time, and they wanted them to be treated fairly, just like the rest of the Europeans that were coming over. Those Europeans initially were Spain and Portugal, the Iberian Peninsula. Back then, and I'm sure there are documented bad things that happened, but people need to remember that most of the Spaniards and the Portuguese that came over stayed and mixed with the native, with the Indians. And they didn't go back to Spain, or very few went back to Spain. The majority stayed. And they mixed, and a new breed of people were formed, which were Hispanic American or Latin American, depending which term you want to use. Ibero-American is the other term because of the Iberian Peninsula. And that nowadays, after several wars of independence from Spain and Portugal, all these countries developed on their own. And actually, after the independence of a lot of these countries, the treatment of the Indians were not protected by the crown. And a lot of mistreatment happened with the people that stayed in the American continent. So if they want to look at guilt, they have to look at themselves, because most of them carry both the blood of the invaders, which would be the Iberian Peninsula people, the Spanish and Portuguese that came in, like Mexicans they have either, different proportions depending on how European they're mixed, or when did the Europeans came over, etc. There's different mixture of European blood. So what I'm saying is that they got to look at themselves if they're going to call out Spain or Portugal as being the oppressor. The oppressors are really in place in South America, Central America, and Mexico, North America. So if you're going to call them out, I don't think anybody should be called out. I think humanity in general has been historically people that invade each other, and we progress and we retrograde both ways by these facts. But the facts are that there's been multiple migration and invasions of different groups to different parts of the world. That's always been the truth. This is nothing new. It has been happening since humanity exists. So, nothing more. I just wanted to, just say what I think, and you may or may not agree with me. I'm open to any civilized suggestions. It's not about winning or losing. It's about talking and finding out the truth. And this is what we need in this world right now. Right now, everybody's just fighting, and I'm right, you're wrong. What is that? If I'm wrong, prove me wrong. If I'm right, agree with me if you think I'm right. All right, very good. Thank you.